Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? What? No way. Oh my god. Okay, wait. Wow. I stopped watching halfway through. Wait a minute. Okay. Alright, we're in the Guild Wars 1 wiki. And see, this is the Forgotten. They have 4 arms, right? Aren't they the race that helped, like, glint and stuff? Ancient snake-like beings that stand upright. They were placed in the world of Tyria by the 6 gods in order to guide the other races. They were at war with the Char, near the Blaze-Rich Mountains. Aided the gods in the war against Abaddon. This is something that happens in one of the campaigns in Guild Wars 1, if I remember correctly. The Forgotten retreated to the Crystal Desert. They now serve the Dragon Glint, with where their race have become long forgotten, hence their current name. Alongside guarding Glint, they act as testers to the Trials of Ascension, posing as a threat to all who wish to become ascended. When Turai, Ossa, and the Lonians ventured into the Crystal Desert, they immediately attacked the Forgotten, thinking them to be mindless beasts, and were soon wiped out by both the Forgotten's retaliation and internal strife. The Forgotten are said to be linked to the facets that reflect the power of the human gods. Okay, so first, guarding the Dragon Glint, we know from Guild Wars 2 who Glint is, Oreen's mom. But there's no Forgotten in Guild Wars 2. And they say the Trials of Ascension, which is an event that happens in Guild Wars 2, in the Desert Highlands? What was the area? One of the areas of Path of Fire. And there is a Trials of Ascension, but there's no Forgotten there. So I guess they got, like, completely wiped out. Were there any, like, other races? I feel like species. Okay. I feel like there were other, like, 4-armed floaty races aside from the Forgotten. The Morsat, they're not 4-armed. What was the other floaty thing? The Seers. Yes, the Seers are the other floaty race. But do they have 4 arms, though? Yes, they do have 4 arms. So maybe it's a Seer. Maybe it's not a Forgotten. Maybe it's a Seer. Ancient, powerful, still mysterious, genderless floating beings. Not much is known about them still, though their race already had a functioning society and civilization by the time the gods brought humanity to Tyria. Also, maybe the gods copied, like, somewhat their appearance into the Forgotten through the writing of the Tome of Rubicon, during which they were in war with the Morsat. Did not... okay. The remains of their civilization can be seen today, through those who find it do not know what they are. Ooh, okay. So the corpse of a seer can be seen lying on a table at Zin's laboratory in Divinity Coast. I don't know if this is still... Zin is a person that is mentioned in Guild Wars 2, but I don't think we can go to their laboratory. Maybe. I see. Okay, so maybe it's a seer. Maybe it's not a Forgotten. Though the seer seems to be, like, dark of color, but maybe they have, like, variants. I don't know. This is fascinating. I would love to see... Okay, wait. So, let me try something. All right, so this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to check out the announcement of Secrets of the Obscure and then some of the other articles that they released. So let's check this out. A new chapter in Tyria's history begins August 22nd. So this is where the launch is of the new expansion. I will maybe stream this, maybe on YouTube, but probably not on August 22nd. Exactly, but we'll see. Soon you will be soaring through new maps high in the skies above Tyria, testing your mettle against invaders from the mists, and mastering new combat options. The adventure continues after launch, with major releases planned every few months that introduce new locations and rewards as they expand the features and continue the story of Secrets of the Obscure. I love this. Okay, where and how I can buy, I'll just use Loranity's affiliate link. I encourage you, if you're watching this, to use the affiliate link of a creator for Guild Wars 2 that you love, and that will help them immensely. When can I play? August 22nd, 9 a.m. Pacific. So that's evening for me, probably. But I don't know where I'll be on August 22nd, so it might as well be morning. I'm not sure. In any case, there's not going to be any downtime because Guild Wars 2 doesn't do that. So we've shared further details on the expansion combat systems. Okay, let's check that out. Story and instance content and rewards. Okay, let's check that out. Combat system. What features are those, you might ask? Okay, combat philosophy. In our spring update blog, we talked about how we're looking for ways to add meaningful combat choices besides adding new elite specializations, which is fair, because they've been adding elite specializations since Heart of Thorns, which is all new weapons for a certain class, all new skills for a certain class. At some point, balancing is going to... It's hard now, but like it's going to become a nightmare, I feel like. 3 expansions worth of elite specializations. Each profession already has access to tons of roles and playstyles. For Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, we've focused our efforts on bolstering and refining existing combat systems and removing long-standing limitations to put even more compelling build choices in your hands. Okay, at launch, Weapon Master Training. One of the best parts about an expansion release is getting to use a new weapon and weapon skills from elite specializations. Up until now, you could only equip each elite specialization's weapon by locking yourself into that elite specialization's trait line. But what if you could charge into the fray as a hammer-wielding hollowsmith, or control the battlefield as a firebrand with a longbow? Are they unlocking all weapons? This expansion will introduce Weapon Master Training, which turns the elite specialization weapons already associated with each profession into core proficiencies. Once you've unlocked Weapon Master Training in Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, you'll be able to use elite specialization weapons without the corresponding trait line equipped. Oh! Wow! This is huge. What? This is crazy. Oh, okay. This is huge. Oh my god, this is awesome. This is really awesome. That means that even if you don't own the other expansions, you'll be able to mix and match weapons from the elite specializations associated with them. You still need to own the appropriate expansion and fully unlock each elite spec. That's understandable. Here are the weapons that will become part of each profession's core proficiencies in Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure. So we have the axe, the sword, and the longbow for Guardian. which is Firebrand, Willbender, and Dragon. What was the dragon one? I forgot. Shield, Greatsword, Short Bow, which is Renegade. I keep forgetting the names. Why am I forgetting the names? You know, End of Dragons, Heart of Thorns. So basically each specialization weapon. As a fun bonus, this means we're also introducing a few new skills for edge cases like Berserker's Primal Burst while wielding a dagger, or the Untaked's Unleashed Ambush while wielding a staff. We're excited about the new freedom this will open up for all types of players. If you simply prefer a particular weapon, you'll be free to equip that weapon regardless of your elite specialization. If you like experimenting and optimizing your build, you'll have a ton of new combinations to explore. You'll be able to try out weapon master training and combine different weapons and lead specializations during our beta weekend. June 29th to July 2nd, I missed that. It's just how things go sometimes. Oh, they're working runes? They're streamlining the game today. Runes have 5 tiers of relatively straightforward stat bonuses, and the 6th tier is a wildcard that can offer additional bonuses. Arbitrarily linked 2 builds components to a single choice. Keeping with the theme of our combat updates, we're splitting those into 2 separate choices to give players more meaningful control. They're giving us the choice. I think I like that. The 6th tier of each rune set will instead complete the stat bonuses associated with that rune set, and the additional special effects or conditional bonuses will be removed entirely. But fear not, special bonus effects in combat aren't just going away as a category. We've split them off into their own build component, so you can choose both the stats you want and which special effect is right for your build. Which brings us to introducing relics, water relics. A relic slot that becomes usable at level 60. Many of the relics that are available to players, regardless of expansion ownership, will cover the functionality of popular 6th tier rune bonuses. Okay, so the 6th tier that was previously available will now be available in relics, which is how they make the thing choosable, right? That's how I assume that's how this works. That's cool. Expanded weapon proficiency. To round off our combat system updates, we're granting each profession proficiency with an additional weapon. Like we said earlier, getting to play with a new weapon and changing out your first 5 skills is one of the most impactful parts of an elite spec for many players. Yep. So for the second major release after launch, they'll do this. Oh, Guardian is getting pistol! It gives the vibe of that meme with the doctor and the gun. I'm a doctor, but, you know. The Revenant is getting a scepter. Cool. The Warrior is getting a staff. That might be interesting. I'd love to see how that works. Engineer is getting short bow. Ranger is getting mace. Thief is getting axe, which works for Thief. I'm not sure why they didn't have axe before. Elementalist is getting pistol. Mesmer is getting rifle, and Necromancer is getting sword. Oh, that's true. We don't have swords for Necromancers. I only use the axe because I like the axe for Necromancer, so I never really noticed. So the beta came by and passed. I'm sure people have given their feedback. So I'll check the next page. Secrets of the Obscure. As stated in the story, you've heard us talk about updating our approach to development to provide more consistent updates for both the core game and the expansion content. At launch, you will be able to play through a self-contained story. Following launch, this story will be seamlessly expanded upon in updates that come out every few months, retelling a second standalone arc. The story of Guild Wars 2, Secrets of the Obscure, represents the opening of a new chapter. The Elder Dragon cycle that dominated major events from the original launch through Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons has come to a close. In fact, today's game update includes a small scene to transition out of the End of Dragons storyline. This interlude brings us to a scenic overlook in Saitung province, where one of our dearest comrades has some bittersweet news to share. Oh, maybe I should play that then before the expansion comes out. In the quiet that follows, a new foe rises to threaten Tyria. As you fight back against Cryptis invaders from the mists. So I feel like since season 4, the mists have been all messed up. So it's interesting to see. I don't think I'm probably one of those people that I would have loved to just go there in the mists, you know? But I don't think many people want that. So, you know, to each their own. But it's interesting to see what the ramification for our world is, right? Because the mists and Tyria proper are, you know, separated. So that's interesting to, we'll see how that goes, I guess. You'll uncover the answer to mysteries that have haunted Tyria from the time of the original Guild Wars. Ancient rivalries come into play. The world is at risk. While we've relied on the aid of our allies in many adventures to date, it's time for you to find your footing in darker, more mysterious side of the world. Now that the cycle is over, Tyria's blood in the water. Tyria's is blood in water. The mists are watching. 2 explorable zones and the Wizard's Tower outposts floating high above the Tyrian coast will be available at launch in the releases that will follow every few months. A 3rd explorable zone will open in conjunction with the ongoing story that plays out. Okay, Soar with the Sky Scale was first introduced in Living World Season 4 and changed the way players navigate maps in Guild Wars 2. We love the freedom and movement options the Sky Scale offers, which is why we want to make sure it's readily accessible to as many players as possible. As a result, we're adding a new Sky Scale mount acquisition method with this expansion. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Whether or not you own Path of Fire or complete the original Sky Scale collection, Secrets of the Obscure will grant you a more streamlined collection to unlock a Sky Scale of your very own. Okay, you get access to a new Sky Scale skin collection. Completing that will award you terrifying and beautiful Cryptis-themed Sky Scale skin. Oh, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. So, I have done, before, in a previous account, I have done the Sky Scale collection. The general consensus for the Sky Scale collection is that it's too tedious. It's very, very long, and sometimes it time gates a little bit. So most people didn't like it. I loved it. I loved the Sky Scale collection. Was it a lot of work? Yes. Yes, it was a lot of work. And I was kind of jealous of other people flying above me as I was doing it. But it's such a fun story, because the Sky Scale collection is a story. It's a story of its own. The story of finding the Sky Scale, getting some eggs, you know, incubating, hatching, taking care of little baby Sky Scale and all of that. It's just this long collection. And I enjoyed it immensely. Now, did I need help? Yes, I did. I used the Guild Wars wiki to find the things that I needed to find, like points of interest and so on. But I loved the Sky Scale collection. Honestly, it felt like I was getting a sense of accomplishment as I was doing it, and that sense of accomplishment really, like, I felt very satisfied once I unlocked the Sky Scale. I was really satisfied with the whole thing. So I'm probably one of the few people that wasn't like pissed off at it. But I know that a lot of people find it tedious and like bad. So I'm happy that many new players will get like a shorter, more easy to access collection for the Sky Scale. Maybe I'll take advantage of it too. I'm not sure how much time I'll have to play the game before that, so I might not be able to actually do the Sky Scale collection proper. That's in season 4, so we'll see. Mastery updates. Mastery, there's the mastery line of the Sky Scale in Secrets of the Obscure includes new abilities like the Fireball aerial attack you'll unlock at tier 2. Some of the new mastery tiers grant Path of Fire masteries. In those cases, players who have trained Skyscale masteries from both expansions will get a bonus functionality unlock. For example, the first tier of the Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure Skyscale mastery grants Air Rescue, the ability to mount in mid-air. If you've already trained Air Rescue with the Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire mastery line, you'll now get Bond the Vigor every time you use Air Rescue. Oh, that's so thoughtful. See, to all the people that already did the thing and leveled up the masteries and all of that, they'll get bonuses. And to the people who didn't, they get like cool stuff anyway. I like this. I like how they've done this. 2 additional mastery lines will be introduced, both of which are closely tied to the expansion story. As you fight off the ravages of the Cryptis, you'll make allies of the Wizard's Court and the Astral Ward, ancient protectors of Tyria who have been brought out of their seclusion by the Cryptis threat. Through your new allies, you'll gain access to a powerful artifact called the Heart of the Obscure. With Cryptis forces pouring into Tyria through portals in the mists, it falls to you and the Astral Ward to track down and close those portals, and deal with any Cryptis that have managed to pass through them. The Heart of the Obscure and Astral Ward masteries will aid you as you hunt and close rifts throughout Tyria. Together, the 2 mastery lines will allow you to explore the world more freely, take on greater threats, and earn richer rewards. And they'll be, it seems, available at launch. We're planning to introduce a 4th mastery line in the first major release following launch. Cool. This looks so cool though. Oh my god. This looks, wow, this looks amazing. This is so beautiful. What the hell, ain't it? What the hell? This is gorgeous. How could you? Fractals of the Mist, strike missions and challenge modes. Will bring new challenging content in the form of 2 new strike missions and a Fractal of the Mists, each with an accompanying challenge mode. I know that people who do that type of content will be really happy about this. Both strike missions will be part of the August 22nd launch. Their challenge modes will come out in subsequent releases. As a side note, we would be remiss not to mention that today's game update includes a new Fractal that you can play. That's the Fractal that they released end of June. Okay. New rewards. Opening the Wizard's Vault. Wow, this is... Wow. Wow, do they have a texture upgrade or something? Or is this a DirectX 11? This is amazing looking. Whoa. This seems like an in-game screenshot. It doesn't seem like art. It looks amazing. Wow. Okay. Your journeys in the expansion will bring you face to face with the Wizard's Court, a group of powerful magic users who live high in the skies above Tyria. For over a millennium, the Wizard's Court has amassed a large trove of riches and curiosities in their private vault, nestled safely in their mysterious floating tower in the sky. Now, relieved from their long isolation, the wizards are hungry for knowledge of the world they've dedicated themselves to protecting, and are willing to share some of their bounty with you, in exchange for a favor or 2. The Wizard's Vault is a new streamlined reward system that combines the best elements of the daily login and the daily achievement system, allowing you to play Guild Wars 2 the way you want to, whether it's PvE, player versus player, or world versus world, or a mix, and earn a wide variety of exciting rewards. Are they changing the login rewards or like the daily rewards system? Like just from these words, it seems like they're changing this. Wow. This is wow. I can't wait to see this in game. I don't actually use the Griffin a lot, but I cannot wait to see this in game. You receive new objectives to complete daily, weekly, and with each quarterly release. As you complete objectives, you earn astral acclaim, a new account-wide currency, which can be exchanged for rewards of your choosing, such as new weapons and armor skins, a small selection of items previously exclusive to the gem store, which is great, crafting materials, gold, mystic coins, legendary crafting starter kits, and more. Those rewards will refresh on a quarterly basis, but fear not. As new items cycle in, any Wizard's Vault exclusive rewards will simply move into a legacy section of the vault, where they'll remain available for the same type of currency indefinitely. Our goal is for Wizard's Vault rewards are meant to be attainable through regular normal play. There are no paid upgrades or progression skips, and the legacy section exists to take the time pressure off and allow players to catch up if they take a break, which is wonderful, really. This seems like a great idea, honestly. I don't have lots of words to speak about game dev and decisions like that, but this seems like a great idea, honestly. Some Wizards Vault tasks and rewards are exclusive to Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, but all accounts with level 80 characters will have access to the feature, which is also great for free-to-play players. I don't know how many of those are, because the expansions would regularly go into like sales and stuff like that. So it's very possible. And I think you can buy them with gems that you can exchange for in-game gold. So it seems like even if you're free-to-play player, at some point you'll be able to buy the expansions. But if there's some people who've stayed free-to-play, this is a great improvement to quality of life, it seems. At least for now, it seems like a great improvement. New adventure, new looks. The new armor sets will become available. The first, the Astral Ward armor, is thematically tied to the story of Guild Wars 2, Secrets of the Obscure, and shares the same appearance for all three armor weights. The second set, Rift Hunter's armor, has unique look for each weight. A third set will be released after launch. Secrets of the Obscure will also introduce a new set of legendary armor, Obsidian. This will be the first set that doesn't require heavy investment into raids or competitive experience. Instead of the various crafting components come from open world gameplay in Guild Wars. Thank you! Oh my god! Wow! This is my favorite announcement. Okay, so quick recap of me. I am a very slow player. I play slowly, I gather things slowly, I just do things slowly. Mostly because I play things to enjoy it and not to, farm. Some people are good with farming, I'm not good with farming. I'm very slow in playing certain things. And on top of that, the only ways you could get legendary armor previously is either by playing PvP, which I don't like PvP, either by doing world v world progression, which is great for people who have friends to do that with. I feel like world versus world is a great game mode to play with friends. I don't particularly enjoy playing it alone. And then when you play alone, your progression is very slow. And then raids, which is again something that you should play. I feel like you should play with friends and people who are understanding. Because for people like me who have when, sudden changes occur, I don't have the reflexes to respond to them very, very well. And so when I go into a raid and something unexpected happens, sure, some people will see the thing and they'll move in a certain direction to avoid it. But I need, suddenly I'll lose my mouse, I'll try to find where my mouse is, I'll try to turn around, I won't be able to press my button, and it's a very frustrating experience if you're not with friends, if you're not with patient friends that want to play with you. So I never tried to do any of that. And I feel like I remember that the raids legendary armor is you have to play challenge mode for it, maybe? Don't quote me on that. I might be just completely wrong, honestly. But this is great news for me. I would love to get legendary armor, as slow as that might be, through just open world gameplay. I just, please give it to me. Make it, you know what, even make it weaker than the other legendary armor. Like, I don't want to speak for everyone, but like, I would love the comfort of not having to spend transmutation charges every time I want to like change my skin on my armor with legendary armor. Like, for me, legendary pieces are a major quality of life upgrade, as in you don't have to be stingy with your resources and things like that for fashion and all of that. It's not that much greater in terms of specs than the ascended armor, you know? So this is great news. And the armor looks so cool. I did hope they fix the feet thing. So the leg thing. So sometimes in certain skins and outfits, you can tell that they were made for human characters, or you know, a certain body type of a human character, because I can make the tiniest twig of a person Sylvari male. This is for male armor sets. And I can make the tiniest twig of a person, and my legs will still look like I'm lifting like 6 times a week, 3 hours a set. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating. It's not that the buff legs are ugly or anything. They're really not. But when I make a character a certain body type or something like that, I want that to be reflected in the armor I'm wearing. Like, if I make a bigger character, I don't want their outfit to make their legs look smaller, you know? And when I make a smaller character, I don't want the armor to make their legs look bigger than they are supposed to be, you know? Which is mostly very egregious in like light armor, because it's usually just cloth and you can see the fabric and stuff. Because heavy armor, you don't really pay attention that much because it's all just plate and like chains and metal and stuff. But heavy, like medium and light armor that's like cloth and leather and stuff is just very obvious. But this armor looks great. The designs look great on this one. Okay. The new legendary armor set is planned for release in the second major update following the expansion's launch. You'll be able to begin working towards it on August 22nd, though crucial components will be available to acquire, and you'll be able to start training your Astral Ward masteries to unlock crafting recipes. Part of the necessary steps for completing your legendary armor will be completing the Astral Ward and Rift Hunter's armor collection. Beyond that, the expansion is rife with rewards that will be available at launch and over time. If you are pre-purchasing the expansion, you'll get a weapon choice box that will get you started on the Eagle Eye weapon set, one of 3 upgradable 2-tier weapon sets. What does that look like? What does that mean? Does it mean like if I upgrade it, it looks different? Can I downgrade it to look like the first? I wonder if they have like a showcase for that. We've got new unique weapon skins, armor pieces, and back items coming on August 22nd in following releases. We'll have more details on other types of rewards like miniatures, emotes, infusions, tonics, new fish, and more as we get closer. Skyfish. They said it's the sky in the skies of Tyria, right? That's what they said. So maybe it's skyfish. You know, the ones from One Piece, the flat ones? Like the flat skyfish. The flat skyfish. Sorry, I put my hands in front of my camera for a second there. We'll find even more details about combat system blog. Wow. I'll read all of the other stuff on my own, but I think, wow, there's such a variety of things to be excited about. I'm excited about the story. At the very least, Guild Wars 2, they always start off their story very well. Sometimes they don't stick the landing that well, but you know, the thought is there, which I can appreciate. I hope that they've learned with Icebrood Saga and End of Dragons how to balance setup and payoff, because in those two instances, the setup was amazing. Like, the start of Icebrood Saga is my favorite story. Like, just the prologue, the first few chapters is my favorite. I love it. I love it so much. It's my favorite in the whole game. But that is obviously brought down by the, rushed race to the finish. Kind of a little bit nonsensical end of it. And I feel like End of Dragons had the same problem. The setup is amazing. And then up until midway through, it suddenly, you start like racing to the end of the story, which is kind of unfortunate. But, it is what it is. I hope they've learned or they're working on managing that type of, setup and payoff balance. So that, because the setup is really good. It's really, really good. So it's kind of disappointing sometimes that they don't really do a lot to finish it off very well. Okay, what do we have next? Cryptis. Beings from beyond the mists. Oh, wow. Wow, this looks so cool. What is this? Wow, it's like bones, like bones and marrow and ligaments, like kind of connected together. Ooh, it's so creepy. I love it. I love how creepy this is. Look how gross its feet are. I love this. I love the Cryptis. Will be members of the my new allies will be members of the Astral Ward. After joining forces with them, you'll get access to the Heart of the Obscure. Its associated mastery line. Okay. Rift hunting. So Rift hunting, I'm not going to actually read the whole thing because it kind of reminds me of the Path of Fire event where portals open across Tira and like awakened pour in and you have to kill them. It kind of seems like a similar concept. So I'm okay with that. It's a great concept. I enjoyed those events whenever they pop up. And they're always like kind of a surprise. You're in a certain area and you're just like maybe gathering stuff or maybe doing hearts or world completion or any type of thing like that. And then suddenly you see like a pop-up for the event, for the Awakened coming in. It's very exciting. I love it. So I'd be happy if this is something similar. Defeat enough of them and a more formidable champion will appear for you to face. Taking down the final Cryptis target will allow you to close the rift and will grant you Cryptis essence, powerful material you can use to craft weapons, armor, legendary armor, and bait to lure out deadlier Cryptis from rifts. That sounds great. That sounds similar to the Awakened event. So it sounds awesome. Indigo. So as far as I know, Indigo is the lead. Yes, she says it right after. The lead for Guild Wars 2, Secrets of the Obscure. Long-time dev. Awesome dev. I love Indigo. I love all the devs. They're all very fun and like they love the game, which is very obvious in their like interaction with it and stuff like that. In just a few weeks, I'd love to walk you through some of the questions we tackled as we started carving a new path for Tyria. We're going to stay pretty high level here, but be mindful of some minor teasers ahead and major spoilers for previous expansions. I've played through all of them, so I'm good. After we wrapped on Guild Wars 2, End of Dragons, and our 10-year saga of the Dragon Cycle came to an end, we found ourselves at a critical point in the story of Guild Wars 2. There were quite a few directions that were really interesting in pursuing, that we were really interested in pursuing. We've got tons of stories in Tyria left to tell. From mysteries we've hinted at in years past to completely novel ideas. After all, the world is only just finding its footing following the end of the Dragon Cycle, a global affliction that promised certain destruction until Suwon's death in Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. We had a lot to say, so the question was, where do we start? We've only explored a small portion of Tyria to date. And even then, a great deal of the world we do know has vastly changed over the events of the last 11 real-world years. And one of the things I love about the Guild Wars 2 story is time passes. Every time an expansion or a season comes out, time passes. Like, just, I love the time passes because sometimes, like, I don't know, maybe World of Warcraft, like, some events seem like, just because of the longevity of the game, they seem like they happened like a decade ago, but in game they actually happened like 2 years ago or something like that, and that's really frustrating sometimes when you play. So I love that actual time passes. So each expansion is the year of the expansion. Like it's like real time, basically. Real time passes. Just as the expansions are coming out and real time is passing for us, that amount of time is passing for the characters in Guild Wars 2. After all, the world is only just finding its footing. Sorry, I lost my line. Following the end of the dragon cycle, a global affliction that promised certain destruction. Okay, where do we start? We've only explored a small portion of Tyria to date, and even then, a great deal of the world that we do know has vastly changed over the events of the last 11 real-world years. We want to dig into that with more focused, self-contained stories, and we hope to bring each of these into the limelight as we see Tyria react and unravel to a future without chaos. Well, without dragon-centric chaos. But before we slow things down and explore modern Tyria, we opted for something a little bit more mysterious to mark the beginning of this new arc. We had a handful of frontrunners, but a franchise-long mystery quickly became our leading focus: the Wizard's Tower, which we were talking about before. Oh my god, look at how beautiful it is. It's definitely different than what we see currently in game. I'll show you, but it's definitely different. This is so different. This is completely different. Okay. The Wizard's Tower and its creator, a sum of Tyria's best kept secrets. Dating back to the original Guild Wars, it's taken up residence on the Tyrian horizon since the beginning. All Tyria knew was that it was supposedly owned by a wizard named Isgaren. Or Isgaren? Isgaren. Although he's never been physically seen. And that a few individuals had tried to breach its walls. Looking at you, Galrath. I think it's a Guild Wars 1 reference. During the Guild Wars 2 era, it rested above the hamlet of Garenhof until we plucked it out of the sky in the June 27th update. Aside from a couple of teasers over the years, we've shielded the truth about Isgaren and his mysterious tower until now. The Wizard's Tower provided the perfect canvas to tell a very different story, one that spans thousands of years. Focusing on Isgaren, the Wizard's Tower, and the Astral Ward allowed us to dive into some of the deepest crevices of our lore. We're talking ancient beings, whispers of long-ago wars, and buried secrets. We'll be fighting an entirely new enemy faction, only subtly teased in content in the past. It's a story that lit a flame under the development team too. Over the years, almost every team wanted to utilize the Wizard's Tower, from raids and fractals to story, but no single idea landed where we wanted to take it. Giving the Wizard's Tower an entire expansion felt like the best way to honor what is now a multi-game mystery. Which is a great idea. I love it. I love this idea. Thank you, developers. With the dragon story bookmarked at Orion's temporary departure. Oops. Okay, I guess that's a spoiler for me. I'm not too broken-hearted about the spoiler, but I should have expected this. The team was eager to let off some steam and work on something a little wild. The Wizard's Tower was just as exciting to us as it has been for the community to speculate about all these years. When we managed to wiggle it into just about every pitch we had for the 4th expansion, we knew we had our topic. Look at this! What the hell, Annette? This is amazing! How? I can't wait to see this in game. Given that Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure is going to be something of a fresh start for us as an narrative, I worked with Matthew Medina, the expansion's narrative design lead, to send the commander on a journey absent their usual comrades, which I think makes sense. You know, we've been with these people, aside from, you know, like Rama or Gorik or something, we've been with these people since Heart of Thorns, and some of them have had it really rough, you know, and some of them have settled down and all of that. So I feel like it's a good idea to just kind of like get away from them for a little bit, you know. Maybe new friends is a great idea, new characters, because you can't stay static all the time, you know. Though I think Gorik and Blish were a wonderful addition. We thought that this would make the story as exciting and bewildering to the commander as a character as it would be for the player. At the top of the story, a mission goes awry and we're pulled into unexplored territory, physically and intellectually. By isolating the commander from their support group, and thus their typical problem-solving catalysts, we're able to completely immerse the player character in this darker, more mystical facet of Tyria as the Astral World battles against the threat of the Cryptis. More than that, the world state of Tyria is at such a critical turning point, with the threat of the Elder Dragons calmed in our prismatic utility knife, or in taking a good old nap somewhere secluded. All of our friends are busy with their lives now, and some of them are playing crucial roles in rebuilding the world. Casimir and Jory, recently engaged, have established positions in the Crichton political system. Krisha and Ritlock are facing the Khan-Ur election. And heck, they've got a lot to cope with following the Icebrute saga. And, you know, I think Malice should be the new Khan-Ur, but, you know, it's not because I'm playing Ash or anything. Taimi is burrowed in June's lab, solving every crisis she possibly can with her Canthan inventors. Gorik and Rama have the agency, the Friends Detective Agency, you know, the best detective agency in the world. And Bram is probably thriving in some much-needed therapy. All these characters, and can I just make a quick comment? I love Bram. I know most people don't love him. I do. I think he's great. Even when I was annoyed with him, even when I was angry at him, even all of that, I always thought he was great because he was always a good friend. Not always, but you know, we're good friends. Even amidst all the bad stuff that happened between us, we're always being good friends. So I love Bram. I don't want to hear any Bram slander anywhere, ever. So just no. You know, we like what we like, you know? We like what we like. Yeah, like if you like Zoja, I'm not gonna make fun of you, you know, even though I don't like her that much. I don't like her that much. I am happy she's coming back because it's been such a mystery. But and I love Felicia Day, but you know, all these characters have served as guiding lights to the commander, and they have shaped our journey. We're excited to give you glimpses in their post-Dragon lives when we dig into those local stories about Tyria's revival. But before that, it's time the commander took a journey of their own. There is one exception to the rule, though, which is Zoja, as we can see. Zoja is a character who has been mysteriously AWOL since the events of Guild of War's Heart of Thorns, as we know, where she endured some pretty awful injuries after being trapped inside of that blighting pod. While I don't want to spoil her journey, I can say that it was an emotional one. We have years of lost ground to cover, and our favorite golem monster has been doing some serious soul-searching. Like the commander we'll have in Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, Zoja needed a journey of her own. I'll keep that story under my hat for now. Getting to explore the depths of Zoja's self-discovery was a delight. In the middle of our fight against the Cryptis, we're going to have some incredibly tender and vulnerable moments with our Asuran ally. The Cryptis, which are so gross, I love it. One of the meatier enemies we fought to date, which is a pun on the fact that they're just basically meat and bones. Finding a new enemy force that touched on past lore, but was also fresh and exciting to long-term players, was a significant goal of ours, and a very interesting challenge from a world-building perspective. Creatures of the demon realm. It's been a hot minute since we faced off against foes from across the mists. With the exceptions of a few cryptids that have wiggled their way through Tyria's back door in the past, we haven't spent a lot of time with these guys before. They're fleshy, they're horrifying, and they're eager to take us out. But they're not necessarily a world-ending threat, per se, as menacing as they are. We just got done with the Elder Dragons, after all. As you dive into Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure and fight back against the Cryptis, you unravel a much more personal rivalry between some of our key players, one that has lasted for over a millennium. Better yet, after we've completed the first leg of the story, high above the cloud cover of Tyria, we're going to continue this journey in a much more curious environment. Tyria continued. We'll set the place as Tyria, Secrets of the Obscure will set the pace as Tyria looks to the future. There are whole facets of the world that we've yet to explore, much like the Wizard's Tower and the Fractured Archipelago that we'll be ascending to in just a few weeks. Beyond that, Tyria has a lot of healing to do. The Sylvari need to recover from the events of Guild Wars 2, Heart of Thorns, which we still don't know how the Pale Tree is doing. The Char and Norn are on the mend following the Icebrood saga. Cantha has been revealed to the world. Heck, the Pact needs a new purpose, and we're about to meet the Astral Ward. Tyria is at a turning point. But before Tyria can truly heal, we're going to take you on a cosmic journey. From one player who spent thousands of hours digging into Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 to our community, we're excited to open a new door. I'll see you in the game, Indigo. I love Indigo. I'm so happy that she's the lead here. She's been doing some pretty fun stuff. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to play. Okay, how about this? I will buy stuff. I will buy the game, and then I'll log in and I'll show you guys the different things. The tower and maybe some areas that we might be seeing in the future. Who knows? It'd be cool. Slight problem, maybe. So I purchased what I needed to purchase. Only problem is that it seems I need a little bit of time to verify my purchase, so I don't have the expansions yet. But I can, after we log in, I can still log in. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna log in right now. Give me a second. I'm gonna log in right now. I don't actually have the zone unlocked where the tower is, so we are going to run there. I still have the raptor for a couple more hours, I think, 4 hours. So we are going to run through the zones to try and go where the tower is. I think it was in... Was it in Gandharan Fields? Maybe it's in Gandharan Fields. I will see. Okay. We're going to grab some stuff on the way. Just because we can. For the world completion, you know. But then we're going to continue on our way to finding the tower. So I am going... my goal here is to go to the swamp and go from there. So let's go to the swamp first. Secrets of the Swamp. That's where the world boss is. So we're just going through the road. I can try and take a shortcut, but I only have a raptor, so I think that there's not really any point in doing that. So let's try. Okay. Phew. There we are at the swamp. Soon we will arrive to the little fort that's there. I like this weird plank road. I wouldn't feel safe on it, honestly. But it's funny looking, at the very least. Okay, this is the Kessex Hills. Okay, we're in Kessex Hills. Oh, maybe we're supposed to be here. Yeah. Okay, let's open up this thing.
The Lion Guard strive to protect the trade routes to and from Lion's Arch. But times are tough, and our ranks are wearing thin. Bandit holdings are quickly growing throughout the wilderness of Blackhaven, and I fear things will only get worse if someone doesn't step in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I got the lay around. So, if I'm not mistaken, we're supposed to go to this fort over here and then go past it a little bit and then turn right to get to the place you want to get to. There's other ways to reach this place, but it feels like maybe that was the way, the shortest way here. Okay, so I'll have to go a little bit on a swamp here. There is a road here. You can't really see it because there's like lots of drops and caves and enemies and bandit bosses and stuff like that. There's also ants all around it. Yeah, a bandit leader. The bandit leaders are pretty tough to beat. You need like a solid group. And a solid profession sometimes. To beat the bandit bosses. Okay, so a little bit past this. See it in the distance? The roofing in the distance. Do you see it? Over here. There it is. See, it looks different. So this is the tower. As we see it now. It looks different than the one in the trailer. So maybe they'll do like a graphics update to it or something of the sort. But here's Garenhof. Little Garenhof, and there's like different elementals that are protecting it. Let's see if we can talk to some people. So there's like some villagers here. Not all of them will be able to talk to you, but some of them will.
My, the tower looks even more breathtaking at night.
You're lucky my brother didn't bring you here. He charges 10 gold for a night view.
Oh. Oh. Hello, little child. The view of the castle is pretty amazing, isn't it? It sure is. I never get tired of just standing and watching the tower. I hope someday the wizard comes to visit. I could totally be his apprentice. That's cute. Okay, can we talk to her? No. Okay. So you see, like, the sentiments of the people here. They actually, I think, all of them, like, pretty much admire Garenhof. Garenhof is Garen a lot. So, let's see who we can talk to here. There's some more elementals protecting the place. If I can, I'll bring you to, like, a higher up place later, so you can see it better. Okay, let's look around. Who can I talk to?
Wanna play?
You're rich, aren't you? I might have some wealth. Rich tourists are the best type of people. Leave me alone, kid. I like how I'm the one talking to him, but I'm like...
Girl, elementals
Used to destroy your storage sheds and run your livestock off the farm. I know, Grandma. You've told me.
things sure change.
That's a very fit grandma. When I was young, we didn't have elementals running around the city, doing everyone's chores for them. Folks did their work with their own two hands. You don't like it here? I didn't say that. The castle sure is pretty nice. I'd like to go there someday. Some of the other villagers go to live there. I keep hoping for an invitation myself. Do you ever get to see the villagers who moved there? No, but that's not surprising. A place as elegant as that, I'm sure they're just wrapped up in their new lives. It is very isolated up there. I'll admit, I'm jealous. That's suspicious. But this is a better view of the tower. Grandma is so funny. All of the elementals here really creep her out. Why doesn't she like them? I don't know. She's not actually afraid of them or anything. My mom says Grandma just has trouble handling change. She just came to live with us recently after all. But she seems to like the castle. Well, that's nice. This is the castle. There's a vista over there. We can see the castle from there as well. But this is like the picture. I think it's like a higher viewing point when we see it in the trailer. Maybe from like maybe up here or something. Let me... Okay, so maybe up here. Yeah, maybe something from up here or something like that. So this is the house that we noticed that was different. And this is the island here that was missing. Or it looked different. And this is the tower. And we know now the tower looks different. And there's no spires, as you can see, in the game. Like the 2 spires that we saw here. So... this is what it looks like, and I want to talk to the villagers, but I also want to just like show you guys from up close. So when we go to the vistas, you will see. So, Lasha, welcome to Garenhof, home of his Garen Castle. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Who is his Garen? Not much is known about his Garen. He keeps to his castle, and is rarely ever seen or heard. What is known is that he has a kind, gracious heart, and he cares for and loves the people of this town. Tell me about the castle. All that's known about the castle is that it's Garen's home. That I know of, no one save his Garen has ever entered the castle. Even so, it draws tourists from all over Tyria. Why are the elementals here? The elementals are creations of his Garen. They defend the town from threats and work as servants for the town's people. Okay, and that's about what Lasha can tell us, but look how cool it is. Might be able to get a little bit close with our... Look, you can go into the house. There's like a baguette and other types of bread and some potatoes and stuff and wine. Can I go to the 2nd floor? And there's some beds, some little library nook. And what the hell? And some Asuran tech for some reason. That might be a part of like a personal story mission or something. But yeah, this is Garenhof. I can't really go too much into these places. Oh, look, some people. They're also looking at the castle, I assume. But that's about as far as you can go. You can go fish down there. I don't have End of Dragons yet, so I cannot fish. But once I get it, I will be able to fish. And we can go and grab the hero point a little bit later. It's a quaint little town. It's very nice. It's very chill.
This place is fantastic. We should get elementals to help out in our city.
You work in a quarry. If a bunch of elementals showed up to do manual labor, you'd lose your job.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Melissa aid you.
And there's some merchants here that sell, like, armors and weapons and stuff.
You'll find everything you
And,
need here.
you know, some harvesting tools, and you can sell stuff yourself. Another child. The elementals do whatever I tell them to. I love watching them fight. It's so much fun. Ew. Aren't you afraid of them? Why would I be? They're just playthings. His Garen wouldn't let anything hurt me. I don't think that the mage cares much. Can you just, like, leave the elementals alone?
Sometimes late at night, I hear strange noises echoing in the canyons.
Oh, there's
What kind of
Crispin
noises?
Freeman.
Well, I swear there's screams, but not, you know, human.
Oh, you're just trying to scare me. You know the wizard will keep us safe.
Go on then.
I wonder if the whole wizard thing is just like propaganda. You know?
My time is precious.
Welcome to Garenhof. Beneath is Garen's castle. You've got nothing to fear or want. Enjoy your stay and take the sights. And the other
May the
person.
Sphinx watch over you.
I'm the one and only town guard for Garenhof. If you run into any trouble, let the elementals handle it. How can there only be one guard? The elementals keep us safe. In all honesty, I really don't do anything. I'm here more to keep up appearances than anything else. Aren't you at all worried about the elementals? Why would we be? They've been here longer than I have, and there's never been an issue. To be honest, if they did attack, we wouldn't have a chance anyway. Why worry? But as you can see, like, they're very dependent on these elementals that supposedly, you know, Garen is sending to protect them. I am inclined to believe that he really is sending the elementals to the town to protect it, but I'm not sure he, like, really cares about the villagers or loves them or anything, like they say. It just doesn't seem like the type of person who would care that much, you know? Okay, so we have some places here. There's a villager. There's another villager. And there's more villagers and elementals. And here we have a message. Get the mesmers out of our government. How can we trust mind shapers to argue fairly for the people?
Divinity's Reach, maybe. Might join the carnival there. You make no sense. Greetings.
Another tourist. Joyous day. What do you want? The castle's up there and there are elementals everywhere. If you're looking for a guided tour, ask someone else. I just wanted to say hello. I'm sorry. I know that was rude of me. I just get so tired of all the visitors staring at us and asking us stupid questions. I live here. This is my home. I'm not here to entertain you. You don't like the attention? I love attention, but people should bug me because they're interested in me, not because they want the history of some building I've never been in. That's why I want to go join the fair in Divinity's Reach. And there's Sable. You're a newcomer to Garenhof, I can tell. We get a lot of visitors. We're quite the popular little town. Do you like it here? I love it. It's like something out of a children's story, with the kindly wizard watching over the sleepy little village and sending his magical minions to help out with the day-to-day chores. I think your friend disagrees. Don't listen to... I think it's Lucy, but it's written really weird. She complains a lot, but it's a ruse. Every week she comes up with a new plan to leave and start some new extravagant life. This week, it's the carnival. She just wants to be noticed. What do you think of Garenhof? I like it. It's like something... okay, we're repeating stuff. Okay. So this is the elemental for the hero point. Let's see if we can...
Body snatching. Somewhere west of the canyon.
Thank goodness for the wizard. He keeps us safe.
Yeah, that's probably Etton's. As safe as I feel with the elementals around, occasionally something just feels wrong about them. What do you mean? I don't know what it is exactly. They just seem angry sometimes if they're being forced to do something against their will. Are they being forced into servitude? No one really knows what they are, let alone why they freely serve us. Honestly, I don't think people here would care if they were. Thank you for your time. Let's see if this guy has any. Even with war in every direction, the Isgaran's elementals keep us safe. We're in his debt without even really knowing him. Doesn't that worry you? Some, but he's never given us reason to doubt his intentions. The more we depend on him, the more he comes through. Okay, so the grandma was talking about other people going to live in the castle. I kind of doubt that there's any people going to live in the castle, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, it's not an impossible thing. Okay, let's see who else we can talk. Can we talk to this guy?
Workers, you need to learn how to handle this elemental.
Okay, I'll step up.
We have a taker. Those of you on the sidelines, pay attention. Maybe you'll learn. I make a pretty good team.
I should scroll back.
Nobody brought marshmallows?
Yeah, I'm a clicker. It's just... I don't really have a good handle on all the numbers, so sometimes I'll just click the wrong number if I rely only on clicking.
Did you see that, workers? That's how you do it.
Thank you. Okay. There's some chickens.
So, what brings you here?
Let's see if we can talk to this
Can I help
villager.
you?
No, thank you. And there is an elemental here that we can't talk to. And Oh, can we talk to these
Nice to
guys?
see you.
Sit back and let the elementals
Lorenzo
care.
got
I love making deliveries to this town. Just pull into port and let this Garen's elementals do the work. Normally, we unload everything ourselves while defending against attackers. Ooh. And yeah, that's about it for Garenhof. I'm gonna take you to the port to see the water, and then we're gonna go a little bit higher up to...
Yes?
Okay, I don't think we talked to them. Can you believe this place? I can't wait to go on a tour, and there are so many souvenirs. You seem like you're having fun. How could I not be? I'm not at work. I get to just wander around a new place all day. Do you know that you can pay to have the elementals bring meals right to you at the inn? Amazing. Okay, can we talk to Mariel? This is supposed to be the town to visit for vacation. Doesn't seem all that special to me. There's the castle, but apparently we can't go inside. Elementals are everywhere, but elementals are always everywhere. Where are you from? Quarryside, near Kessex Haven. I wanted to go somewhere exotic, maybe visit an Asuran city or Solvari Woods, but we can't afford to go much further than this, and Dylan had to come see the elementals. Yeah, poor girl. Her boyfriend just conscripted her. So this is the port, the little port of this little town. Can we talk to the workers? No. And there's some people here, some workers. Let them, let the elementals take care of everything.
Hello.
As you can see, there's not like a lot of place for boats to dock and stuff. So, yeah.
Shipping out soon?
So, let's go high up so we can see the castle better. I imagine maybe with the latest patch they updated the textures maybe? I'll have to see. I haven't played it yet, as I said, and I still don't have confirmation for the expansions. So we have to wait a little bit so we can do the thing. But first, let's head towards a higher ground. So we should be able to go through here to get to a strawberry patch close by, and then drop to the vista from there. There's a jumping puzzle here. Up this waterway, there's a jumping puzzle inside the cave, but we won't be going there right now. Ignore the Ettins. Just ignore the Ettins. Okay, so we have the little strawberry patch, and there's diving goggles. Okay, let's just kill this Ettin.
Did you see that?
Okay. Get those strawberries. Oh no, I don't, my thing isn't. Oh, maybe now? Maybe now? So, you see how I got this little, like, flake thingy? It's because I didn't have the proper... Yeah, I didn't have the proper thing for the proper, like, level of the harvesting tool. Let's just get more harvesting things. And this is the castle. The Mage Tower. Let's go up high to see it better. Man, if I had a Springer, but maybe there's a wall here, so who knows. So this is it. Some people have been able to like get to the edge of it with Skyscale and Griffin, but you can't go inside because there's nothing inside. There's nothing past the walls because it's an old thing, you know. When they were putting it in, they probably didn't have an idea for what to use it. But as you heard in the like in the reading of all the stuff from ANET, it's been here for 10 years already. So yeah. Okay, let's get the diving goggles because that also gives you an achievement. in my tighty greenies, I guess. And there's my goggle face. That's what my goggle face looks like. Anyway, so if I... Let's turn. And we have jumped. And you can come to this little island too. To explore a little bit. There's not much stuff on it, honestly. It's just like a little bit of rocks and things. So you can get a better look. As you can see, I'm hitting a wall here. Wonder if I can jump somewhere around here, maybe? No, I don't think so. But yeah, this is the place. There's the castle. As you can see, it really does look, it's like way pointier. Like, it really does look different from like the one in the trailer. So that's interesting, I guess. Okay. Raccoon. Oh, there's a raccoon here. They're cute. Okay. And that's that for this exploration of the castle. Okay, let's go back to the video and talk about, like, theories and things. Okay. Big Secrets of the Obscure Lore speculation video. I love Laura's videos, so I'm happy to watch this and see what she has to say. I'm really interested in seeing what she has to say about this. Let's start.
A new expansion for Guild Wars 2, Secrets of the Obscure. And of course, they announced it exactly while I was on vacation in Norway without Wi-Fi. So I busted out my mobile 4G hotspot
she streamed from like her phone and stuff. It was funny.
Well, except for some minor disruptions.
It was funny. I was there.
I just came back from my vacation a couple of days ago.
Oh, there she is, like right there.
Making lots of videos about the expansion. And today, I want to start off by talking about the expansion's lore. The expansion's narrative honestly just looks really freaking cool, y'all. The Wizard's Tower, demons, alternate dimensions, Kanaxai. Alright, Kanaxai was actually last week's Fraxel. But oh my gosh, we need to talk about all of this. Before we go into some wild speculation, let's briefly talk about
that's from the trailer. That's different.
About the story. The basic premise of the expansion, if you will. With End of Dragons, the Elder Dragon story has come to a close. However, in Secrets of the Obscure...
spoiler warning, by the way.
A demonic race from the mists, known as the Cryptis, has set their sights on Tyria. The Cryptis are pouring into Tyria through portals or rifts.
Yeah, you read that.
And it is up to us to fight them off and close these rifts. Fortunately, we are not alone in this battle. In the expansion, we will explore Amnitas.
Wow.
It will actually be the second map which we explore in the expansion. Amnitas is located high up in the sky, just below Tyria's atmosphere, and it is the home to two mysterious factions, the Astral Ward and the Wizard's Court. We've never really met these factions before, but apparently they are ancient protectors of Tyria who have been living in seclusion high up in the sky. I gotta say though, if they truly care about protecting Tyria, why didn't they help us during the Elder Dragon story? I'm sure they were just busy. The Astral Ward and the Wizard's Court seem pretty closely related to one another. They've both been living up there in the sky for ages. The Astral Ward are treasure hunters and adventurers, and they will be helping us track down and close these Cryptis portals. And the Wizard's Court is a group of powerful wizards. Nobody expected the Wizard's Court to be powerful wizards. The Wizard's Court will be involved with the Wizard's Vault, a new reward system where you can earn riches that the wizards have been hoarding in their tower for over a millennium. Alright, and that is the basic premise of the expansion out of the way. Now it is time to start our absolutely bonkers speculation. There is a lot of stuff to talk about, but let's start off with one of the big ones. The Wizard's Tower. The Wizard's Tower is one of the oldest Guild Wars mysteries. In the first game, it was just kind of there, floating next to Kazakh's Peak. We never got to go inside the tower, so players speculated for years about what was in there and what the purpose of the tower even was.
It's
It sure
nostalgic
seems
Guild
like
Wars
the
1.
tower was important, because a ton of NPCs were trying to get inside. One very iconic quest in Guild Wars 1 was called the Villainy of Galroth, where a dude called Galroth was trying to get access to the secrets within the tower. We, the player characters, were sent out there to stop him. In Guild Wars 2, the Wizard's Tower has moves, and all the lore nerds, including me, were really excited to see it again. Unfortunately, we still didn't get to go inside. The Wizard's Tower was now located in the town of Garenholf, where it's become somewhat of a tourist attraction. Supposedly, a wizard called Isgaren lives inside the tower, but none of the villagers have ever really seen him. He sends these elementals to help the town though, and sometimes people are invited to come visit the tower, but then they are never seen or heard from again. Curious. And for years, that is where we were at with the Wizard's Tower. An intriguing Guild Wars mystery from the old days without a lot of actual answers. Until now, because Secrets of the Obscure seems to be focusing on the Wizard's Tower big time. The Wizard's Tower is even the logo of the expansion. If you do the final End of Dragon story instance in Sightung,
and it's the one that we see in the sky.
Afterwards, the Wizard's Tower is actually just gone now. None of the townsfolk really understands what happens. Just one moment to the next, whoosh, it had vanished. The mayor of the town actually admits that he had never actually talked to Isgaren, and that his previous claims of knowing the wizards were actually just lies. According to the expansion website, we will visit the Wizard's Tower outpost in the expansion. To me, that seems pretty clear. The Wizard's Tower has somehow teleported up into the sky next to the other sky maps, and it will be our hub for this expansion in the same way that Arborstone was our hub in End of Dragons. The description of the Wizard's Court also describes how the court was hoarding their riches in their tower for over a millennium, so it seems kinda safe to assume that that tower is our Wizard's Tower. I'm guessing that the Wizard's Tower has been controlled by the Wizard's Court since way before even Guild Wars 1. It seems safe to assume that Isgaren, the wizard, is probably a member of the Wizard's Court. If we take a look at the teaser trailer for the expansion, we actually get to see the Wizard's Tower vanish from Garenholf. The tower actually looks pretty different here. I think that ArenaNet probably just redesigned it a bit. Considering that the tower will be our
I thought so
hub,
too.
it makes sense that they would want to update the design a little bit. But if we look at this next scene, there are actually some differences that are probably a little bit too large.
Yeah,
to
the
ignore.
weird
Bam,
textures
the tower is
and
gone,
the
now
gone water.
Garenholf is on fire. There are even some dead people. When I first saw this, I thought that it didn't really make sense. We can go to Garenholf in-game right now, and the tower has vanished, but the town is also fine? Why is Garenholf and the trade on fire? That didn't really happen in-game. Well, actually, there seems to be an explanation. This Garenholf and the trader is probably an alternate reality copy of Garenholf in the sky.
What?
Alright, before you go to the comments to type a furious rant about how I'm wrong, let me explain. On the expansion website, there is a description for the first open world map, the Skywatch Archipelago, and it says the following. Discover a chain of islands high above Syria, where distorted alternate universe reflections of the worlds below have taken on lives of their own. Alternate universe reflections of the worlds below? Wow, that is certainly a pretty big thing to just hide somewhere on the expansion website. If we look at some of the expansion screenshots, you can actually see this pretty clearly. In this screenshot, we can see a crystal desert area with forced architecture, but we can also see architecture back here, which clearly looks like New Kaineng. Now,
that's true.
The weird shot of Garenholf and the trader. If you look closely, things in this shot seem a little bit off.
The
First
textures
of all,
are different.
There is no sea? It is a bit hard to see.
Yeah.
It seems like where the water was might now just be sky? And also, if you look at the buildings, their architecture actually looks a lot different from the Garenholf that we are used to. You see the difference? Again, the description of Skywatch Archipelago mentions distorted, alternate universe reflections of the worlds below. That is probably exactly what we are looking at. This is not our Garenholf. This is a distorted, alternate universe reflection of Garenholf up in the sky. See, it sounded pretty far-fetched, but it actually makes sense.
It
There
does.
are
It actually
some
does
more
make sense.
screenshots that kind of support this theory. The massively OP article on Secrets of the Obscure has some more screenshots than the official website, and this screenshot here looks a suspicious amount like Garenhof, but in the sky. Look, that tree is totally the tree from Garenhof. This also explains some of the shots that we see in the rest of the trailer. We see these creepy rift-like thingies opening up in the desert Ratasum, I think, and also in Kaineng. And the desert and Kaineng are exactly what we see reflections of in this screenshot. Let's go back to that shot of alternate Garenhof for a little bit. If you look closely at the background, you can also see this kind of creepy tower with two spires looming.
Yeah,
in
the two
background.
spires. Yeah,
When I
I saw
first
that.
saw this, I was immediately thinking of another ancient Guild Wars mystery, which is admittedly
what?
a lot more obscure. The second Wizard's Tower. In
When?
the tutorial area of Guild Wars 1, there was actually a really pretty area in Escalon called a Wizard's Folly. It was like this little mountain, and on top of it was a Wizard's Tower. We never really got much info about this place, and we don't really know what happened to it after the searing. After the players entered the post-searing roles, the area where the tower was located was actually just inaccessible. And in Guild Wars 2, you couldn't go there either. And wow, it certainly looks quite a lot like this tower that we are seeing in the background.
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah,
trailer.
yeah.
There is actually another screenshot in the massively OP article, which looks a lot like it could be the tower we see in the backgrounds of the trailer.
And I'm so
Admittedly,
glad.
the design does look pretty different.
I'm so glad there's people like Lara that explain that stuff for dum-dums like me. I couldn't even find like a lot of the stuff that she's showing on the website, let alone like other articles and things. Thank you for your service.
From our ancient Wizard's Folly tower. But I am not sure. Maybe the tower just got redesigned a bit from its 2005 model. I can still see it. Gosh, I just love speculating about stuff like this. The official expansion website and the massively OP article are filled with lots of interesting screenshots like this. But there is also a really fascinating piece of art. This artwork is being used everywhere to promote this expansion. And guess what? It looks like Zoja is back. As I'm sure most of you know, Zoja was last seen in 2015's Heart of Thorns, and the community has been wildly theorizing about why she's been gone for years. Well, now it all makes total sense. She's been up there in the sky with the Astral Ward and the Wizard's Court doing all kinds of important stuff. But apparently she didn't really have time to say goodbye to us beforehand. Can I just quickly brag, by the way? I totally called this one. I do think, y'all, I actually think Zoja might be coming back. I think Zoja will actually come back. You know what? I'm gonna make a prediction. Prediction, okay. Someone clip this. In the next 2 years, Zoja is gonna be back in the story. This is my prediction. I 100% believe that. I genuinely think Zoja is coming back. I think ArenaNet knows that if they bring Zoja back, there'll be just so much hype. And, you know, this is definitely gonna happen.
Okay,
Official
okay.
prediction, 100%. Oh, look at this art! Besides Zoja, there's actually another really interesting character visible in this art.
Lara does predict a lot of things. She does. She predicts a lot of things. So good on her for predicting that. I did not predict that. I did not think Zoja was going to be coming back.
If you look to the right here, there is a
the four-armed person
casting a spell. But this character has 4 arms.
We were talking about this.
What people will probably think here is that this is a Jinn. Jinn have 4 arms too. And
that's true. Jinn do have 4 arms.
However, another possibility is that this character
I completely
might
forgot
be
about
a
the Jinn.
seer. If you played Guild Wars 1 or watched my introduction to Guild Wars 2 lore video, you might remember who these are. The Seers are an ancient race of magical spellcasters who at some point were at war with the Mersats. They were also the creators of the Bloodstones, and they have 4 arms. These Seers are honestly an enigma. We are counted one
and like the high colors too,
who helped us infuse our armor against the Mersat's magic. But that is pretty much it. We also saw a Seer corpse in an Asura lab once, but
Ugh.
really, that is all we have seen of them. Wouldn't it be super cool to actually meet another seer in the story after
Yeah.
all these years?
Yeah, it would be
Arctic
really
Light
cool.
honestly reminds me more of seers than of Jin, but really both races kind of fit the bill. There is also one more wild theory that has to do with the Wizard's Tower that I
Okay.
quickly want to talk about. You remember the garden in the upper city of Divinity's Reach? This garden has
Sure.
got stars, planets, a moon, all just floating around.
Yeah.
It honestly looks a lot like this other shot from the trailer, where we can also see some planets floating around. My guess is that this shot was taken inside of the Wizard's Tower, but I guess it could be somewhere else as well. Here is the wild theory. According to the Divinity Guides, the garden in Divinity's Reach was constructed over 60 years ago by the Grand Wizard Garen. Garen is... Garen? Is Garen maybe the same wizard as is Garen?
Oh!
Maybe they're related? We don't really know, but I'm
I
guessing that
see
Garen was
where
probably
she's going
also
with
a
this.
part of this wizard's court. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Garen is Garen. If Garen is Garen, oh, it's complicated. This whole room is
Garen
honestly
is
pretty
Garen.
darn interesting too. The massively OP article reveals the names of the 2 strike missions in the expansion, and honestly, there doesn't seem to be that much to glean from those names. But the first strike mission is apparently called the Cosmic Observatory. I'm guessing it's pretty likely that that is exactly what we are looking at.
Oh,
and that
yeah,
that
that
strike
might be
mission
all
will take
planets and
place
stuff.
in this very room. What is actually happening in this scene though? The portal seems to be closing and rubble is falling from the ceiling. A little bit earlier, the text, "The tower falters," was shown on the screen. Was the tower maybe protecting us from those demons and now it somehow failed? On the expansion website, on the Omnitas page, we can also read this. Here, the wizard's bastions are beginning to falter under the corrupting influence of the cryptis and other worldly threats from the mists. So maybe that is what we are looking at in this scene? Maybe the portal didn't actually close. Maybe the cryptids are using the portal against us, and a demon is about to burst out of this portal.
Oh,
Maybe
you know
that
what?
is our first.
You know what? I thought this was a little marble floating, but now I'm seeing it looks more like a hologram.
mission. Next, let's actually talk about those demons for a bit. The cryptids. This otherworldly threat is honestly really interesting as well.
They're
When
super
I first
creepy, I
saw the
like 'em.
cryptis art, I actually didn't realize that we were looking at the cryptis. I thought that these were flesh reavers. The flesh reavers are probably one of the most forgotten species on Tyria. We first saw them in Guild Wars 1's Eye of the North expansion. Apparently, they're born as barely more than a small skeleton, and then the flesh reaver's
Ew.
parents layer muscle, skin, and flesh over the newborn. Kinda gross. They appear in Guilds 2 as well.
It's a little
but
bit
they're not
gross,
actually
yeah.
very common. I do wonder if the similarities between the cryptids and the flesh reavers is just a coincidence. And just last week, we got to fight Kanaksai in the new Fractal. Plenty of spooky demons, it seems. And it doesn't seem like a coincidence that right before this new expansion...
That might be true, because I remember before End of Dragons, there was one, before they released End of Dragons, there was one fractal that was released that was in Cantha. So it is possible that this fractal released right before Secrets of the Obscure could be pointing towards like a demon-oriented story, you know?
The main story is about a demon, and the latest fractal is also about a demon. I wonder if we might encounter any of these demons again, because, well, all of them were technically defeated at one point or another in the franchise. But who knows, demons do seem like the type of creatures who could reasonably come back. In the fractal, Kanaksai is actually talking about how he's not ready to return just yet. So it certainly suggests that demons returning is possible. At the end of the fractal, he even says,
"I'll return for you."
Is he just saying this to sound like a badass? Or is Kanaksai kind of breaking the fourth wall of fractals here? Is it possible that in Secrets of the Obscure, Kanaksai might actually be coming for us? There is actually some
I
other
kind of don't
interesting
want that, though.
Kanaksai dialogue in this fractal as well. Kanaxai introduces himself as Kanaxai, Scythe of House Arcus.
Ooh.
There's also this axe you can buy after doing the challenge mode 25 times, and it has the following lore texts. All of House Mosen wailed as Kanaxai cleaves their founder in twain. Interesting. It certainly seems...
Is it like demon politics? Maybe it's demon politics. That'd actually be really, really interesting. Because I'm trepidatious about things from Guild Wars 1 to be like explored in Guild Wars 2. Just because like I want them to come up with their own amazing, awesome stuff, you know? So, but like demon politics like sounds like something I might really enjoy. So that might be cool.
As if these demons have got a bit of a power struggle going on. House Arcus, House Mosen, it's basically like Game of Thrones, but with demons. I am pretty much convinced that we will learn more about this demon society in the expansion. Finally, let's discuss this demonic figure that we see at the end of the trailer. This figure has perhaps caused the most speculation inside of the Guild Wars 2 community. Who is this, and are they important? If you listen carefully to the teaser audio, you can...
Doesn't it seem like it doesn't have a head? It seems like it doesn't have a head, doesn't it? It kind of seems that way.
actually hear this evil laugh, which we already heard in the teaser a couple months back.
We did? Oh, that, yes, we did.
I don't know about you, but to me, that evil laugh screams, I am the main villain of this expansion. I think this might be the big baddie. So who could this big baddie possibly be? Could it be Deimos? Could it be Kanaxai? Those certainly didn't have those creepy, massive extra arms the last time we saw them.
I thought they were
However,
wings.
that the most popular theory right now is that this could be Menzies. Menzies, Mingus. The pronunciation depends on who you ask. I'm gonna go with Menzies for now. Menzies the Mad, Lord of Destruction and half-brother.
That's a little bit of a weird
Balthazar.
word for me, but
Menzies
okay.
is a mysterious god who we have never really
Brother of
encountered before
Balthazar.
in the franchise.
I see.
There's really only been hints to him.
Huh.
In the Fissure of Woe, which was like Balthazar's domain in the myths, we thought of his shadow army. We even got to encounter his shadow army again in Dragonfall, where a piece of the Fissure of Woe had crash landed into the ocean.
Oh,
However, there is
that was
really not much
his?
known about
Oh,
Menzies.
they
We
really
know that this shadow army
off-
has
awful.
teamed up with the demon Malix before, but we've never encountered Menzies himself. There's actually a bit of a debate about how to pronounce his name, because apparently Menzies was the name of a Scottish clan, and the pronunciation of that clan was actually Mingus. However, we have never ever heard a character in Guild Wars mention Menzies or Mingus in voice acting, so we don't really know how ArenaNet intends for us to pronounce it. So why exactly do people think that this figure in the trailer could be Menzies? Mingus. Menzies. There's
Yeah,
a couple of
that
reasons.
guy.
First of all, one of the blog posts about SotO mentions answering mysteries from the original Guild Wars game, and it also mentions ancient rivalries.
But there's like a
That
lot of
certainly
those.
sounds like it could be Menzies. We also know that Menzies has teamed up with demons before. Maybe he himself could even be a demon. But there's also this wild theory about his head. So, there is this theory that Menzies might have been decapitated at some point. According to legend, when Balthazar first entered Tyria from the mists, he was carrying the head of his father. So we kinda know that Balthazar enjoys cutting people's heads off. And then there's also this torch item in Guild Wars 2 called...
Can I just say, even without the lore of him coming in with the cut off head of his father, I would assume that Balthazar enjoys cutting people's heads off, just like in general. Okay, but okay, so the fate of Menzies.
The fate of Menzies. And what do you know? It certainly looks like a head on a pike. By the way, can I just point out that these horns are pretty similar to those demon horns we've seen? Like, for example, on Kanaxai's heads and Deimos' head. So anyway, there is this theory about Menzies having been decapitated by Balthazar. And there you would have it. At first glance, this demon in the trailer kinda seems like they might be missing a head as well.
Yeah,
Could this demon possibly be Menzies?
But there's something moving here, so it could be just that their head is turned around, you know? Behind the wing here.
Menzies. Now, to be fair, if we look closely at the hands of this figure, it looks like they are facing towards the creepy eye thing. The missing head thing could just be perspective. Maybe this figure totally has a head. We just don't really see it from this angle. Maybe the head is just like down here, you know? Maybe there's no head missing.
Fused with the body, you know, like you do.
But we're just kind of looking at these horns. But honestly, I think the way that this was drawn, with a bit of a hole around the head area and a creepy eye sort of shining through, could totally suggest that this is a decapitated Menzies. So yeah, I personally think that the main villain of SotO is Menzies. I think we're looking at Menzies right now. But of course, that is just a theory. And there are a lot of other cool theories as well. I've seen people speculate that this might be Abaddon or a Titan. As for Abaddon, I don't think ArenaNet would go for that.
I don't think so.
Because we already had a whole Guilders 1 campaign about Abaddon.
Yeah,
I admit that these weird arm things definitely have a Titan vibe. But I think this figure is a bit too humanoid to be a crab-like Titan. Maybe the Karka are back. And of course, this could also just be a brand new villain that we have never heard of before.
Yeah.
Phew, okay, SotO lore speculation video. I think that is everything I've got for now. Honestly, as we wait for the expansion, we'll probably come up with like another 30 theories. I love doing lore speculation on my stream, so a big shout out to everyone who's been joining those streams. It's always a blast to speculate about this sort of stuff together.
Yeah, good job everyone.
Over at twitch.tv/Laranity.
Go to twitch.tv/Laranity.
Thank you so much for watching. I have lots more videos for SotO planned, so hopefully you'll be seeing those on the main channel pretty soon. I also now have a second channel where I post stream highlights. So if you enjoy listening to me ramble, definitely check out that channel as well. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching.
Good job, Laura.
See you next time.
Good job. Let's, like, calm down for a sec and, like, leave a comment and things. So let's see. I'm just gonna come here, like the video, and just leave a comment. Thank you, Laura. So much information that I never knew about. It's so cool to see the theories. And there we have it. We've watched everything. Well, not everything, but I want to like preserve a little bit of kind of the mystery of the things that are about to come. So, you know, I think I'd like to just leave it at that. Oh, wait, maybe I should just like do this. Just so I have a background to talk at. Okay, so yeah, this is everything I think that I would want to react to. There's lots of stuff. I haven't, as I said, played through the last few patches of Enter Dragons. It's not a big deal if that I got a little bit spoiled, because honestly, I wasn't super keen on the speed at which the story and End of Dragons was resolved. So, considering it's just like 3 patches or something, I'm not expecting anything like especially cool story-wise. Like, some cool things, yeah, but not like a lot of cool things, you know? And it seems, from what I've seen, that the new map is just like an event map. For the most part, you go there for the event. So, you know, it's not... I love events. I love events, but I just haven't had like the desire to visit that. I would just like much rather go explore, do jumping puzzles, like gather things, and yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in, I guess, to this Guild Wars 2 impromptu video. Maybe if you've watched my shorts, you didn't expect this, but there is going to be much more of that, so please keep that in mind. And I mean, there is going to be much more of Guild Wars 2. There is going to be much more of Final Fantasy 2, so, you know, keep that in mind. Yeah, I think it's time for all of us to like relax a little bit, go eat something, go sleep, take a nap. We're all tired probably, so I guess I'll see you next time. Bye bye.